Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Tech Demo Thursday. We're going to look at how to create a true omnichannel experience using the Boost AI platform. We're seeing more and more organizations seeing the value of deploying a virtual agent across other channels beyond web chat, but also seeing the need to be able to switch in between channels in the same conversation when the situation calls for it. So let's say it's a conversation that starts out on voice, where the customer needs to fill out an application, and so we move them over to a digital channel. Or in this situation, we have somebody who's starting out our web chat, where we're going to shift it over to WhatsApp. We have a customer who's asking to defer a payment, and they've chosen an option where there isn't an automated way to do this. They need to talk to a human. But it's 10 o'clock at night, and it's very fair that the contact center is closed. And so we could ask them just to come back the next day, or we could create a ticket and have somebody follow up with them. But instead, we're going to create an asynchronous messaging experience where we're actually going to transfer them over to the contact center now. And then when somebody comes in the next day, they will reply and the customer will be notified. But they're likely not going to be in front of their desktop at that time. So we're going to switch the conversation over to WhatsApp first before we do the transfer. So the customer's chosen to continue to WhatsApp. And now we're going to try to achieve as seamless of an experience as possible when we go between channels. And so we're going to collect some information from them first. So we're going to get their name. We're going to also ask for their phone number, which is going to be important to be able to send out the conversation to WhatsApp. And then we're also going to collect the postcode or zip code. And we'll talk about in a second why we're going to do that. But with this information, we're going to do two things. We're creating a case behind the scenes in the CRM, in this case, Salesforce. But then we're also pushing out a message to WhatsApp with a greeting that really it makes the user feel like they're continuing the same conversation. But when we send that, we're also sending some metadata that allows us to actually, when the user clicks on that speak to human button, it's going to connect to a flow in our system. And as part of that flow, we're going to be able to get some of the data that we send over in that request. For instance, the case ID for the case that we created and also that postcode. Now, what we're going to do now is validate that this is the right person. This is why we asked for the postcode, is that maybe they put in the wrong phone number. We want to make sure that we're not giving out information to the wrong person. So we want them to give the same postcode that they gave before. This could also be a one-time passcode, would have a similar effect. So now we're going to transfer the chat over into the contact center, in this case, Genesis. We've also shown the user the transcript of the previous conversation in web so that they understand the agent will see this. This could be a completely different format. This is just showing the technical capabilities, but it could also be an LLM generated summary instead, or in addition to the transcript. But now as the agent, I'm able to pick it up the conversation. I'm able to see what the conversation was before. The customer knows that when I have picked this up the next day, that I'm aware of what's going on. And now we can continue in the conversation with this true asynchronous experience. So thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.